down. Let's move on to this, shall we? Wicked is coming, and many of you guys will remember the other week, I have been saying for 2 years now, ever since that first presentation at CinemaCon, 2 CinemaCons ago, where I came out and said, guys, I have not cared about this Wicked movie, but this Wicked movie is going to be awesome. And then after this past CinemaCon, when Cynthia Erivo or Ariana Grande came out, and the director came out, and they did the little numbers, show and dance in their presentation, I came out and said, guys, this movie's going to be really good. Cynthia Erivo is going to kill this. Ariana Grande is going to kill this. This thing's going to be great. Then, many of you remember last week, Cynthia Erivo did one of the stupidest things I've seen a celebrity do, utilizing their social media platform. She lashed out at people who were literally cheering for her. She lashed out at people, people who are excited to see her as Elphaba. People are excited to see this movie and who love the original stage play. Some fans took what all fans do to every single movie that comes out, took the poster for the upcoming Wicked movie and made some adjustments to it in Photoshop. Not very good adjustments, but made adjustments to it in Photoshop to make it look a little bit more like the actual Broadway thing. They lowered the hat a bit to cover the eyes. They raised Ariana Grande's hand to cover her nose, all that kind of stuff. And then Cynthia Erivo went off. She took it as a personal attack on her. And she said, "You're hiding my eyes." And the reason that whole thing turned me off so much was because it kind of implied, her implication here is that this is her movie. This is mine. I am Elphaba. No. You and all actors are stewards of this character. You are a steward of Elphaba. The person making the fan poster did not hide your eyes. They held Elphaba's eyes because that's the way it was in the poster. And they were just doing some fun thing as fans. And it kind of really turned me off, her response to it and all that kind of stuff. Well, Cynthia Erivo has now come out and addressed this. And I gotta say, I think it's the perfect response. Mm-hmm. I really do. Because here's what before we get to what she did say, here's what she didn't do, and I'm glad she didn't. I was kind of expecting, like after she dropped that, we all said, oh, the studio's going to be in touch with her. And we thought we're going to get this big, long publicist written that she'll sign her name on. The publicist written, I so regret my comments about that. It doesn't reflect my attitude towards the fans. Like something that would seem very artificial, like very well crafted, probably obviously written by a studio publicist and all this kind of stuff, right? And then everybody would jump on it and say she's not being sincere. She's just writing this because she was mad. Well, you know what? She was on a carpet and somebody asked her about it. And she gave what I gotta say, I think is the perfect response. This is what she said about her outburst, I should say. See if I make this a little bit better. I'm passionate about it, talking about Wicked. And I know the fans are passionate about it. And I think for me, it was just like a human moment of wanting to protect little Elphaba. And it was like a human moment, she said. I probably should have called my friends, but it's fine. To me, that one little statement, that one little sign of self-awareness of what actually happened, to me, this is a much better statement than some long 5-paragraph, clearly studio publicist written thing. It was, you know what? I got emotional. And you know what? I can understand being emotional because while this whole fan art thing was made from a place of love and excitement and people are excited for her, she's also taken a lot of crap from some of the darker elements of people who call themselves little fucking pussies. Anyway, she's taken a lot of crap from them and maybe she reacted. And I love the fact that she has this self-awareness to say, look, it was a human moment. And the last line was the perfect line. I should have called my friends. Because if I was her friend, and I'm not, but if I was her friend and she called me, she goes, did you see this art? I think me and a lot of you and probably her friends would have said, Cynthia, I get it, but look at it this way. I think this is just somebody who's a big fan, is exciting. And fans don't have a lot of outlets to express their excitement. and making their own fan art just a part of it. This was not about you. This is about their love for the property and their excitement for your movie. And I think if she had just called her friends first, because I don't know if you saw, Ariana Grande was asked about it, and she gave a great response. She goes, you know what? Our fans are excited. They're going to make art, but I love my sister Cynthia. You know, she, like, it was a perfect response for something that didn't really involve her. And I gotta say, as upset as I was, like, I was kind of irate by this, like, another, you know, totally clueless, disconnected, no, you know, cognizance of what's going on actor who's just like making it all about and I was like, this is bullshit. I gotta say, I think this was the perfect response, and I can't speak for any other fans, but for me, remember how I said, Chris, that her response to the fan art made the room feel awkward, and now I just feel weird and awkward.
It's the office dinner party.
I feel like now, instead of a married couple at a dinner party having a fight, it was like being at a dinner party. There's a momentary quiet moment, and somebody ripped a loud fart, and it's all awkward.
Human moment.
But now what Cynthia just did was, woo, that was a big one, and it breaks the tension. I now feel less awkward about it again. Again, I think the response was perfect. Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, The Perfect Jean. Look, you guys know I've been talking about The Perfect Jean for a while now. I absolutely love these. They fit like a dream, they look fantastic, and they are so comfortable, you forget you're even wearing pants. We all love jeans, but look, we all also know they can be a little bit uncomfortable for the boys, but not with The Perfect Jean. These jeans fit like they were custom made, stretch like you wouldn't believe, and they look absolutely fantastic. The Perfect Jean also has a seriously massive range of sizes, everything from 26 to 50 and lengths of 26 to 38. These have become my absolute go-to jeans whenever I'm hanging around the house or even going out for the day. And listen, the Perfect Jean isn't even just pants. They've revolutionized t-shirts as well. The Perfect Tee has just enough stretch to hide that beer belly while accentuating your arms and chest for that flawless look. My guys, it's finally time to stop crushing your balls in uncomfortable jeans by going to theperfectjean.nyc. Our listeners get 15% off your first order, plus free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges when you use the code Campea at checkout. That's 15% off for new customers at theperfectjean.nyc with the promo code Campea. And after you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support the John Campea Show and tell them we sent you. F your khakis and get the Perfect Jean. Anyway, Chris, what do you think about it?
I mean, first of all, a fart is never not funny, John.
They're always awesome.
It is always funny to fart. I really like this. I love that I had a human moment, because that's what we kind of kept talking about, Jonathan, was, hey, I think this was a snowball thing. Is this what feels like an overreaction? Mm-hmm. Sure. But we also haven't been scrutinized for months and months, being told that we are not the right color to play a green person, asking questions about our genitals being painted, etc., etc.
Final straw
Yeah,
moment.
it feels like the straw that broke the camel's back kind of situation. Yeah. That being said, I do want to ask the chat here too, who's just live with us, because
Never
we do
respond to the chat.
You know, I'm just curious though, because we have a lot of people going, I don't believe it, liar. I do want to know what you think is a better PR statement.
And that's what, whenever I see people say, by the way, you're a moron if you write that. The thing that I always want, why people is like, okay, genius. What could they have said? Because no matter what they said, they would write, I don't believe it, whatever. Listen, if they had put out some well-crafted PR bullshit like we see coming out of Hollywood all the time, I would have just probably ignored it. Mm-hmm. I think, but the reason I buy this is because it's exactly what I think happened. Look, I had a human moment. I got upset. I should have called my friends. All that is absolutely correct.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. She had a human moment, and she's self-aware enough to know, you know what, instead of just going off online, I should have just called my friends first. This is the exact right thing to say.
Well, and how many of us in our real lives have had that similar moment?
Every one of you fuckers watching this show, and every one of us fuckers in this room, we have all had those moments.
I have definitely.
Don't pretend like you haven't.
I've definitely had that thing where I have the snappy comeback right in the moment, but it didn't need to be said. That's why there are the rules of Jeff. My father does this. Does it need to be said? Does it need to be said by me? Does it need to be said by me right now? And if you can answer those questions and go, yeah, I do need to say it, then go for it. But we also don't have cameras constantly scrutinizing our every move. right? And so I do sometimes wonder I don't know what else people can do to apologize other than change their behavior and say they're sorry and own up to making mistakes. And that's what I like most about this, is so often we see people doing well, what people have been saying to me has been absolutely outrageous, which a lot of it has been. But instead it's, I had a really human moment where I should have called my friends instead. I think that's a great statement.
Yeah. I mean, look, to me, I see some people in the live chat and I go, well, she should have said sorry. Celebrities always say sorry, and then people always say, I don't buy it.
Yeah.
And by acknowledging I had a human moment and I should have called my friends, that's an acknowledgement I handled it wrong.
Yeah. And the biggest apology you can do is change behavior.
The thing is this, no matter what she wrote, there's going to be people out there who were going to be ready to write, I don't believe it, no matter what she said. As somebody who was as upset as anybody, who was as ticked off as anybody by what she did last week, if I can look at this and go, that's pretty much the perfect response to say, I had a human moment and I should have just called my friends. Yeah. Yeah. She didn't take some PR thing. She didn't put out a crafted statement. She was at an event. Somebody put a microphone in her face, asked her a question, and she was just honest about it. She just said it. She didn't take a pre-written script from a studio. She said, I should have called my friends, had a human moment. I'm passionate about it. And I know the fans are passionate too. To me, that's as perfect as it gets. And I think if you're still mad about it after this, you're mad because you want to be mad.
Yeah.
That's it. I mean, if you're still mad about this after this statement, then you just want to be mad.
Yeah, because it's like,
because this is a fine thing.
Because it's like, if she was sticking to her guns, I'd be like, man, she's really just going down the wrong path. Mm-hmm. But, she accepted, like, it was an embarrassing moment for her too. So it's like, you could just be like, well, I still don't like her, or I don't like those statements, and that's fine, but I'm not going to go see the movie, or I am going to see the movie. To me, it's just like, it's not like, oh, now we like her again. It's not like we hated her before. It's just like, wow, that was really out of line. And then she admitted to it. So like, you could do something in your life that's out of line, and most people I know just try to ignore it and pretend, even if they are embarrassed about it, they try to, or you could actually be like, hey, I was really out of line and I apologize. You guys could still be like, I'm kind of uncomfortable with that guy now, but at least he acknowledged he was an idiot at that moment.
Yeah.
Take
and
with that
if
what
this really
you will.
upset you, I get it. I understand.
Yeah.
I was just one of the people who wasn't particularly bothered either way, where I went, oh, okay, well, that's a bummer that she feels that way. But if this was something that truly upset you, hey, I'm not going to tell you how to feel. Feel however you want to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and listen, look, I think one of the other things to keep in mind is Cynthia Erivo, while she is a celebrity, she has never been a part of a franchise like this.
Absolutely, yeah.
And she has never had to deal with what comes along with that as well. And did she handle it correctly? No. Go back. If you want to know how much I don't think she handled it correctly, go back and watch my video last week. You'll see how much I didn't think she handled it correctly. But live and learn. She recognized, she's self-aware. She says, I handled it wrong. I had a moment. I should have called somebody, and there it is. And so for me, that awkwardness that she created, I think it's gone. I don't want to see any more of those, but I think it's handled. Anyway, guys, whatever you think about it, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks so much for watching this video. Make sure you like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel. And don't forget, we have a daily podcast called the John Campea Show podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcasting app of choice. Go and subscribe to it today so it'll be there when you need it.